What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Ryan Bailey. I look like crap because coming off BravoCon, and sorry, just getting the smoke out of here. Um, and I'm in the process of moving, and I'm trying to keep doing the show. And there seems to be so much happening, like over the weekend with the Lisa Rinna stuff. Today is going to be Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm going to recap episodes 3 and 4 because I'm insane, plus do some pop culture stories. This will be probably split in the middle. Maritza, who works with me and is amazing, will probably split this. So I bet this will be part 1, and then we'll hit part 2. But what you missed on the podcast so far over there on iHeartRadio is that I play a mix, and I played like a 90s mix. So I'm going to talk about that right now. We're going to start. I'm going to hit record over on the GarageBand. This is how high tech this show is, folks. This is like a one-man band. I feel like I'm just playing all sorts of instruments badly. So here we go. Okay, just got to find it. We're doing this. It's exciting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. This is your pal Ryan. This is your Wednesday episode. Let's see. I'm kind of on a 90s kick lately because I had Jackie Schimmel on yesterday, who was amazing. I hope you dug her. I was so nervous for that one, and I think it went okay. I think. Hopefully, you tell me, right? Like, sorry, one sec. I think my recording volume is messed up. Sorry, YouTube. I've been on this kind of 90s mashup kick lately, and I was thinking about how on the 90s songs you would have the da 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 like a Chumbawamba, but then you would have the really emotional, like, checking you out, kind of like the Alanis Morissette or the Counting Crows. There was a lot of you would end songs a lot with ow. I'm not doing it well. I sound like a very injured cat, but you know what I'm saying? When like, oh, it was like that kind of pleading that we felt a lot in the 90s. You guys, today we're going to be doing let's see what we're going to do. It's going to be a Salt Lake City. It's going to be a Salt Lake City recap of episodes 3 and 4 to catch us up, because remember, I wasn't able to do that at the old BravoCon. We're going to be doing a Salt Lake City recap of episodes 3 and 4 because I was at BravoCon and I missed episode 3, but there were so many important moments that I wanted to discuss. And my note taker for this Laura Beth Harp, she is incredible. Now, Juliana Carrazza has been taking notes from Beverly Hills, and tomorrow night will be our last Beverly Hills experience. And I can't tell you enough how excited I am to be over with the fucking season. Like, it's done. Let release me, dear Lord, release me, please. But I wanted to thank Laura Beth Harp, and I'll give Laura Beth Harp, I'll give her Instagram information if anybody wants to go follow her and say great job for these notes, because they were excelente. And I would almost skip over 3, except that there's so many good moments and she took such good notes that I'm going to kind of do an encapsulation, a Cliff Notes version, and then a more intense why am I acting like Chris Farley? A more intense version of episode 4. Plus, we're going to do some pop culture stories up top here. How are you guys doing? Let me just start by saying you guys are the best. I get so many cool messages from you guys. Sometimes I get scary messages, but I don't think those are meant to be, positive towards me, but mostly they're really amazing. And you make my day because there is a lot of work put into this, not just by me, but by Maritza, my Sandra. We got a whole team. And thank you so much for everybody checking in about my mom. And here's what I'm frustrated about. And I'm going to take this out on the ladies of Salt Lake tonight. I'm going to take this out on Miss Jen Shaw because I am angry. I am angry not only about our legal system in cases like Erica Jane and Jen Shaw, but I am mad at our medical system. Listen, if you're a doctor or a nurse, you are doing like the Lord's work, obviously, but it just seems like there's too few of them. And there seems to be so many mistakes that get made. And it is so frustrating for people to work for patients. And I don't want to complain about doctors because I know how, but it just seems like they're just overworked, every one of these guys. And just keep pulling for my mom. And, I just had a very long phone conversation with her, and I'm going to be in Arizona for a while. So if you're in Gilbert, let's do a meetup. Let's do a So Bad It's Good meetup pretty soon. I don't know. Who knows? But just keep good thoughts out there. It is just very frustrating. And it was just reminding me when I was talking with my mom this evening, late evening, and I was just thinking, man, it reminds me of like the Tom Girardi case or the Jen Shaw, and just how it keeps stretching out and stretching out and stretching out. And you don't have an answer, right? You don't have it like, well, I just want to know if they're guilty or innocent. I just want to know something. But it's like,
No, we're firing for the earrings on appeal. No, the earrings were for legal reasons. We're filing on appeal. American Giant.
you know what I'm saying? Like I was one of those people. I've always wanted one of those people that I wanted there to be an absolute. Like the in-betweens were always hard for me. That's why, I mean, I'd love to say right now, that's why I'm good at math, but I'm not. But like math always had one correct answer. It wasn't like, well, it could be, 35 or 43. Like, no, there was an actual answer. And I think as you get older, you want those actual answers, right? But living in that in-between, that not knowing can be so scary. And I find it just with these big things. Like we can control ourselves for the most part. We can go and make sure we fill our car up with gas and, our car doesn't run out of gas. Is this even making sense? We can make sure we do these things for ourselves to help ourselves. But then when we depend on other people to help us or to make things clear, whether it be in a judicial area or a medical area, which both just coincide so beautifully with Housewives these last couple of years, freakily so, it seems like there's just always no answers. It's always up in the air. You never know. Luck is involved. How much money you have is involved. Who is involved. And that's like the thing that's frustrating. So if I'm extra angry today on this recap and on the Beverly Hills recap, I'm always angry. But just know I'm putting all of that vibe into this, not to you. I want us to laugh together, you guys. I want you to take your mind off your shit because everybody's got shit out there. Like literally everybody's got something. So me complaining, I know you can complain and I'm here to listen to you as well. But let's try to sit here and laugh and find some jokes out of this mess. Because I'm watching this episode 3 and 4 of Salt Lake, you guys, and I'm like, what? Jen Shaw must be like thanking her lucky star. Like I cannot wait to commit maybe I've already committed a couple of crimes. Lust. Is lust a crime? No, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't wait till I commit my first big crime and then they decide to throw me a party in Scottsdale, Arizona. Like I'm like, that sounds nice because they threw the Scottsdale, Arizona trip for Jen Shaw. And I'm like, wait, you should invite all the old people that you took the money from to the house in Scottsdale as well. And it should be like a fiesta. We should do like a Jen Shawchella for all her victims. I'm still in amazement. But having said that, I will be honest, Jen Shaw is wildly entertaining to watch. I'm not ignorant to the fact. I'm not blind, you guys. I mean, it's just hysterical though, because if you watch it with that kind of microscope, if you watch some of those scenes and you'll see Jen Shaw watching like Heather and Whitney go at it and she'll be like, holy shit, they're not even touching me. And then she even got ballsy and she was like, this was supposed to be about me. And I'm like, girl, do not just coast this out, girl. You're not paying, like coast, like just ride that wave. What are you doing? It's just amazing, incredible television. And once again, I will say this with Salt Lake, it is like they have 5 cast members and all 5 of them are working at capacity. They are killing it. Each one of these ladies, including Jen, are bringing something so special. I always use that example of Roni the last season when they only had like 5 or 6 ladies and it was horrible. Nobody seemed like they wanted to work and it was the pandemic, and all that stuff. So, but I feel like the engines are all firing at the same time. And this is, one day we will look back at this and be like that this is classic Housewives. The only thing that sucks is the ratings should be better. They're getting like a 0.604, you guys, and compare that to like a 1.2, I believe, on the last Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. So we need to get those ratings up. I love that I said that. Like I want everybody to check in with me tomorrow, and I want you to hit record on the old DVR, and we can all watch it together. And let's try to get a couple 100,000 people more to watch it, because I think this is just really. This is what we're talking about in terms of, I think, why we loved Housewives to begin with. We are watching, the culmination of 2 seasons of getting to know these ladies, and it's spilling out into this 3rd season of just bizarreness, which we're going to get into. But I want to get into some news stories first. Just some pop culture stories, since I want to be your one-stop shop for everything, you guys. I have not talked. Maybe I'll do a Patreon episode about this. By the way, patreon.com/so bad it's good. Me and Maritza did a 2-hour Q&A last night about BravoCon and all of these questions, and it was amazing. Kayla Gayko and I did a 2-hour selling the OC, but we mainly talked about Rinna and all of that stuff. All of this stuff, I did like a 20-minute voice note on Sunday night. I'm putting all sorts of weird crap up there on the Patreon. So if you want to be a part of this weird club called the Baddies, and we call ourselves that with pride now, you guys. I used to be like, Baddies, it's kind of silly, but now I'm like, fuck yeah, we're the Baddies. You want to fight with the bad boy of podcasting? You want to come at me, dude? I got me and the Baddies right behind me. Of course, the Baddies are all, women and dudes who watch reality shows, but we'll kick your butt, dude. We're hardcore. Like, we are the not bad boy of podcasting, the bad listeners of podcasting as well. That doesn't actually sound as attractive. I got to watch a couple of episodes of Love is Blind, the new season on Netflix. I wish we could talk about that nonstop right now, because it is a show, once again, where I'm like, what the hell is going? There's no way this is real. Like, there needs to be timestamp. How the fuck long are they in these pods? It makes no sense to me on any sort of level. The basic premise is, you guys, they fall in love in these pods, and it's like Love is Blind. They don't see these people, but they have dates in the pods. They got their little sippy cups and they're taking notes, and they do these little dates. And then like episode 2, which is like an hour in, people are asking people to marry each other sight unseen. And you're like, how much time has passed? Because this is ridiculous. And these people are saying with a straight face of like, I don't care what they look like. I'm in love. I'm in love. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I feel like you should be arrested if you say that. If you like, but these people's poor parents watching this and like, I raised my daughter better than I raised my son better. My son's here on a voice for an hour, and he's like, I'm going to marry this person. She's my best friend. People are saying best friends. This one dude, this Asian dude, started talking about how he's mastered the art of having an orgasm without the stuff coming out. What's the stuff called? The juice, the fuck, what is it? The semen stuff, what is it? Like, this guy's saying that shit, and the girl at first seems like, oh, that's cute. I'm like, that's creepy as hell. You get me out of this pod right now, because that is scary. So I got to highly recommend this show for you guys. There's new episodes, I think, that come out every week. I'm like, couldn't sleep, and I was like, I watched 3 episodes after work last night. This is work. And I just kept watching, because I was like, is this real? Like, do you ever watch those shows where you look around and you're like, am I getting pumped? Like, did they make this just to make fun of me watching it? Because this seems insane. And I keep going, like, and then they meet, you guys, and then they go to a second location together, and they all like hump on the first night, not like an orgy, but like as the exact couples. And then you can already see like cracks in the facade, because, they just fucking met. And they're like, well, we have to get married in 30 days. And I'm like, says who? Netflix? Netflix? No, you don't. Like, I also think like this is so ridiculous, because in my mind, if I like the first sign of like, I'd be like, oh, I'm out. Fuck no. And these people are like, I've got to commit to it. It's like, well, like, what are you gonna? This feels like Squid Game, but for love, and it's horrifying, because not only is the concept horrifying, love's already scary by itself, but the fact that these people are doing this just makes me so scared for the society that we live in. I think we are seeing the effects of living in a Love is Blind, culture right now. My God. So highly recommend that if you want to be like, holy shit. But Netflix, I'm requesting you to release full footage of the pods. And I would like timestamps to show how long these guys have been in there, because the way you guys edit it together makes it seem like it's like 40 minutes of knowing somebody. And they're like, I know, I've never met somebody like this in my life. And you're sitting like, it's so, you think like Michael Scott on The Office, when you get that cringe feeling when he says something bad, the whole show is like, I multiple times took a pillow over my face and like just held it there until after the meeting the first time, because I was like, oh no, this isn't going to go well. So highly a big so bad it's good recommendation to Love Is Blind season 3. You guys, Andy Cohen, our boy Andy, who I said yesterday I was proud of for apologizing to Garcelle for that part in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the reunion part 2, when they were all making fun of the recycling of Garcelle's book. Because Harry put a phone in there. Harry doesn't know how to recycle. What if that phone, do you ever think that? What about that phone in the trash can? What if that's the thing that totally destroys our ecosystem? Like our climate change, it's like that one phone that Harry Hamlin put in. It was like, we regret to inform you the earth is about to end. Turns out a phone was placed in a trash next to Garcelle Bouvet's book. Wait, we're breaking it. We're hearing Lisa Rinna says it's Harry's fault. Harry's fault. Also, I know I'm going super fast here because I'm just excited to talk to you and not about the shit that's going on in my actual life right now. So I'm just happy to be with my friends, you guys. But did you see that Amelia Bedelia, Rinna's daughter, for that Yeezy? I put it in my stories. It's like, this has to be a bald cap because I know she wouldn't shave her head, but it was like shaved eyebrows, like bald head, and she's just looking like she's about to tackle you, and she's in some sort of outfit that I would never wear, nor would I suggest any of you ladies wearing, unless it's like a Halloween thing. Now if that's a Halloween picture, now I would understand it more, but I've got to admit, like, I always joke about not understanding fashion because I shop at Old Navy, but now it's to a point where like I really don't understand fashion. Like I'm legitimately scared. Like I don't feel like I should be walking down the street and just be scared shitless by seeing Amelia Bedelia completely bald without eyebrows and like this fucking weird contraption. Like you're like the evil superhero, like not even a good superhero. Ugh, just gotta take a breath. It's gonna be okay. Anyways, Andy Cohen was on Howard Stern today. And if you've listened to the podcast for a while, you know what a hero Howard Stern is of mine. And I've listened to him for, I mean, God, it's been 27 years. Gosh, you know, that's the part of the things that I love about podcasting, or when I would listen to podcasts, what I loved was that it felt like your family, right? And that's what Howard and his team, Robin and Fred and Gary and Sal and Richard and all the cast of characters. It's a reality show in itself. Those were my family. I remember teaching in Chicago theater right out of college. I was teaching kids Shakespeare, and I remember I was so lonely in the city, and I would wake up at 6 a.m. to listen to Howard, because it was like, those were my family. That's like who I didn't know anybody in the city. I had my best friend Dusty, but he was gay, and shockingly I'm not. So he would be out doing his, gallivanting, and I would just be like alone thinking. Anywho, that's for another detour type story. Howard Stern, Andy Cohen's on there a lot, and Andy Cohen, of course, has Radio Andy on Sirius, and Howard's opinions on the Housewives are hysterical. But I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to mention it in the sense of this is what I found extremely fascinating. Was he started bringing up the characters. He's like, you are hitting it out of the park. You are doing great on that reunion. And Howard truly loves Beverly Hills. And he goes, the casting is outstanding. He goes, you might have to get rid of that. Who's that girl? He goes, that Crystal girl. I mean, he goes, her husband. Now her husband is very interesting. I love the husband, but and then he goes, and that Dorit and PK. And then he goes, that Mauricio. Mauricio's got to get away from Kyle. Like Howard, and then Howard goes, Lisa and Erica, man, they are killing it. They're a mess, but they're so fun to watch. And I was thinking, I was like, what an interesting thought, because Howard just watches the show, right? Howard doesn't get involved in social media. He talks about how he hates social media. He doesn't go on Twitter anymore because it's a shithole where you just hear the worst things about yourself, which is true. That is Twitter. But he doesn't, his wife, Beth, does Instagram, but it's about all her cats and all the animals they take care of. But he doesn't do all that stuff. He doesn't follow all that stuff because, like he just watches the show. And I thought, what an interesting experience. And if I could, I would do that Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind thing on my brain and like just not know about social media at all and watch this season without social media interfering at all. Because the social media aspect of this, listen, I think Rinna's performance is horrible regardless of social media. But if you didn't know all of the social media shit going on behind the scenes, this show would read a lot differently and potentially more enjoyable. The fact that a lot of us listening know all the shit that these people have been pulling online, it ruins the actual show, which is what we keep saying. But I thought that was such a great point for Howard that kind of reinforces what we've been saying, is that Bravo needs to get these ladies in check in their social media. I mean, I know they use it to promote things, but some of them are disasters at it, and they're actually using it in a very dangerous way. And I think that will be proven very soon. But if they can get them to stop that, they've got a great entertaining show. I don't know if you're of two minds about it. If you're like, well, no, I like the mess that is created online. Because I fell in love with the show before social media. I didn't fall in love with the social media aspect of it. So I always think about that. I want you guys to think about that too, and let me know what you think. And if that is the case, I want Bravo to capitalize on that. Like I have pitched from the very beginning, let me host a weekly show on Bravo where I catch everybody up on the social media antics of the ladies for that week, because it happens every day now, whether it be Heather and Whitney from Salt Lake, Lisa and Erica. I mean, today I wake up to another article, TMZ, like Erica, sources close to production, which means like Erica Jane or Lisa Rinna or one of those people of like, can they use the F slur and the and I'm like, how many times, guys, I get it. I get what you're accusing Kathy of. We've heard this now since January of this past year. Why is TMZ running a new article? Was Erica like, hey, just in case anybody forgot, TMZ, could you do an article just one more time? I'm afraid everybody's going to forget. So tonight, Wednesday night, we'll finally be free of this. Kathy is coming. We're going to get the accusations out there. We're going to throw it out there. But just remember, Rinna is the one that went home in that Sprinter van or however they got home with Kathy. And just remember what we see in the preview. Kathy's like, do you remember Lisa saying, yeah, I would feel the same way. Remember, think about who we know Rinna to be as a character. Rinna is that person that keeps you talking, because, it's the Tamara syndrome. Tamara, I was watching it for myself with my own eyes at BravoCon, just trying to get people to talk. And when you're so nice and you're so in somebody's face of like, yeah, you want to talk to that person. And then you don't realize later that's a mistake, because, in Tamara or Freddie Mellencamp's case, then it just winds up on their podcast, the Twats podcast. But that's saying, like, remember, Lisa Rinna was probably right there in there with Kathy, like, yeah, Kyle's a stupid son of a bitch. Yeah. And Erica Jane, I don't even think she has a good singing voice. What do you think, Kathy? Like kind of encouraging, because this is turned into a chess game. So Andy on Howard Stern, if you listen to Howard Stern, I was in heaven. That's like two of my heroes. Also, I wanted to make a quick note. I got a couple of messages today, and I want to make sure you guys know that I reached out immediately when I found out. You guys know where I stand politically, I think, right? But also at the same time, this isn't a political podcast, but I always like to say, like, yo, I'd rather love, not hate. Also, if you're going to fucking hate towards Jews, African-Americans, homosexuals, any of that, like, get the fuck out. Like, I'm kind of that kind of person about it. It's real cut and dry with me on that. I don't really think there's room to hate. You can be mad and you can dislike reality stars and even hate some of them, but you can't do the bullshit that we've been like signal boosting out there. And which, by the way, finally, Adidas, thank you for doing what is right, because we cannot be openly anti-Semitic in this. I'm sorry, Kanye, even if you did make great beats, I'm sorry, you can't just openly do that and brag about being a billionaire. And guess what happens when that happens? Your valuation is cut in half, and now you're a $400 million heir, which I'm a $400 heir. Whatever, tomato, but he went from $1 billion to 400 million overnight because of this Adidas deal. And he really painted himself up. He dared people to do this. And I'm not even talking about mental health at this point. When you get into hate like this, it's not even mental health. But Kanye, keep going, keep riling people up. It's got to stop, though. You do have influence on people, and you're using it in a very poor way right now. Okay, I know, that's it. Just wanted to throw that out. But anyways, somebody said on today's episode with Jackie that there was a political ad on the front end of the show, not read by me. And listen, I want to assure people that I have not approved any political ads for this podcast, and nor would I. even Democrat or Republican. Maybe Scientology, but no, no, I have not approved any of that. So I had reached out to my company division of iHeart, and their one got slipped in through some back channel, and it was a mistake and an accident, and I trust them, and they are a really good company that I do trust, and they were so they were aghast myself, but I just wanted to let you know I would never do that to you. That's just not something that I want to be involved in. I don't want to be making money off politics in any sort of way, because that's not what this is about. I'd rather make money off of lady sex toys. Hi, Dame. Or Splendid Spoon, my favorite food. Those are the products I want to like support, not stupid people running for governors and stuff. So wanted to say, if you were one of those people that heard that, I am aware. I was not aware until you made me aware. So thank you guys for reaching out. And I'm so glad that I was able to open those messages to let me know that. Okay. And then the last, let's get to the notes here. Thank you to Marissa, Sandra, and Maritza for these notes. My old eyes are looking for my notes app that I had pulled up. Isn't that fun when you're just looking for something and you can't find it? So you keep talking because you don't want to edit. And then you're like, where is it still though? I can't find it. And I'm just going to pull it up. Right. How are you guys? Did I say that? You don't listen. This is a podcast. We take our time. We're not in a rush. Oh, this is it here. Amber Childers. And now if this name rings a bell to you at all, it's because she was once married to Randall Emmett. Prolific producer Randall Emmett, also once engaged to Lala Kent. He had 2 children with Amber and 1 child with Lala. Well, Amber Childers today seeks out a domestic violence restraining order against husband Randall Emmett. This is reported by the Los Angeles Times. Amy Kaufman, who is an amazing reporter, amazing reporter, but also her career, if you study it, she wrote the ultimate book on the Bachelor franchise ever about 5 or 6 years ago and all this. And her career just keeps taking off. She's with the LA Times now, and she did the expose on Randall Emmett that actually started this whole mess. So she sought a domestic violence restraining order today. She filed the request, on Monday in LA County Superior Court, citing legitimate fear for her safety and well-being. On Tuesday, her request for an emergency temporary order was denied by a judge who cited lack of proof, but a hearing to review the matter was set for November 14th. According to her petition, Childers sought the restraining order after discovering threatening correspondence between Emmett and his attorney. Childers said in a declaration that she emailed Emmett last Friday to alert him that she had received notice from their elder daughter's school complaining she was continually late while under Emmett's care because they share joint legal and physical custody. In those emails, Randall Emmett's lawyer, Mr. Valencia, wrote, when will you get some real money together so we can take this C word, the see you next Tuesday word, not evil like Beverly Hills, the C, so we can take this see you next Tuesday out once and for all. This is not good for your girls. Minutes later, the court records say Emmett responded, I don't have real money for this, and you know it. They have declined comment to the LA Times. In the declaration, Children said she had mulled over Valencia's message since reading it and was most frightened by the finality and desperation of his words. Quote, if not the infliction of physical harm on me, would the money be to set me up, she wrote. Is it some sort of bribe for law enforcement? With Randy's history of illegal and or intimidating activity, nothing is off the table, and all possible interpretations make me fear for my safety. Remember also, was it 2 seasons ago when Randall thought it was a really funny joke to have the cop car come and arrest Jax, right? Or was it Sandoval? No, arrest Sandoval. And it was really funny. Everybody thought it was like a big joke, except for Katie and I think Ariana. So, listen, this is very scary. This is scary shit. And I hope, I'm glad she filed for this. I'm sorry that the motion was denied, but at least it's out there. There is a record of this. It's scary stuff out there, but women have to do what they need to do to protect themselves. Also, sad news, Dolores Catania's Porsche was stolen. I swear to God, it was not me. I can prove where I was at. In fact, I got my property stolen at BravoCon too. Let's see. Jamie Spears, Britney Spears' shithead of a dad, allegedly has committed perjury after saying he knew of no devices or audio recordings in Britney's bedroom. And he now admits there was surveillance. Jamie Spears has committed possible perjury. So there is a sworn declaration that he was not aware of any such surveillance, and they have now proven that he was aware. So this seems to be heating up as well. Like I say, the wheels of the justice system move very slowly, and the wheels of the medical system move very slowly. Also, Rihanna, you guys, we get new Rihanna music this Friday for the Wakanda Forever, which is the Black Panther sequel. That comes out this Friday, new music. What if it's a tank? What if it just tanks? What if it just sucks? What if it's just her farting in a tin can? It's like, beep, 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 beep. My name Rihanna. My name is Rihanna. My name, boo, boo, doo, 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 boo. I'm rich. Boo, 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 boo. Wakanda, Wakanda. What if that's the song? She's like, you wanted music, here it is. By the way, you know we would still eat it up. I would be like, beep, beep, I would sing it. I was like, damn, song of the winter. Beep, 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 Wakanda forever. Beep, beep, beep. No, also good news. She officially becomes the richest musician in the world with a 1.4 billion net worth, according to Forbes. Do you see what happens when you don't hate people? Do you see what your stock rises? So congratulations to Rihanna. She's also playing at the Super Bowl. I hope we get a whole Rihanna album and not just a couple tracks from Wakanda Forever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that's not the only music. I hope she has an album in her. Also, I believe Blocked by Jax, the Instagram account, will be coming on to regale us with her tale. But Mr. Jax Taylor is unblocking people finally, guys. And Blocked by Jax has now been unblocked, but she is going to keep her name still Unblocked by Jax. He wrote, have a good day. She wrote, you too, thumbs up. I feel like you really enjoy my Vanderpump Rules live recaps when they come back. He goes, I look forward to it. And if you need anything from me, let me know. Another thumbs up. And then she wrote, might need to go buy me a lotto ticket in one of her stories. And he goes, buy one for me too. And then she said, we can split the winnings. And then she kept doing posts and he kept commenting on them. And listen, I got a lot of messages today to unblock Jax and see if he'll, like, I hate to break this to you. I think he blocked me first, but I blocked him then as well. I don't know. It's a mutual blocking. I don't even think he really knows who I am. I just think I was one of the millions of people he blocked. But I will not be unblocking Jax, nor will I be seeking for him to unblock me, nor do I want him on this show. I hope you understand why. It's kind of like the same reason why I just don't want to talk to Jen Shaw. I don't want to talk to Erica Jane. Sorry if I'm not pretending to be Freddie Mellencamp, like I'm like I'm reporting the news. Like, no, like I hope Jax is great. I hope his family is great. I hope him and Brittany seems like a very nice lady, and I like her Jenny Craig commercials. But like, I don't know. Who you never say never, but I Blocked by Jax, I'm glad you're having a good relationship, and we'll talk to you on the pod, Blocked by Jax, about this, because I'm sure there is more to be had. There's James Corden news. Matthew Perry, his book's coming out. We'll talk about that more next week. There is so much good stuff here. And oh, guys, I forgot to talk about this last week. And it's like every time you think love is real, something comes along and just like slaps you in the face where you're like, oh, I guess love isn't real. Bronwyn Wyndham Burke, I don't know if you remember her. She was on Real Housewives of Orange County. Finally files for a divorce after 23 years of marriage with Sean Wyndham Burke. Cool. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad she's happy, and I think she has already another girlfriend. She's had like a lot since she's come out, and like they're always like, I will always go back to, and anytime I bring her up, I will just always go back to the Page Six headline where she said her, like, I think it was 2 girlfriends ago, was giving her 14 orgasms a day. And I was like, first off, you're really making it look bad for all of us out here, you know, like trying to just give 1 orgasm to somebody. And she's like, this, and like, first off, good for you. But also it's like, when I've had like good sexual encounters in the past, which I can count on like one finger, I've not like went to Page Six about it. Not been like, yo, Evan Real, what's up, dude? Guess what happened? Totally did it last night. You want to smell my fingers, bro? Like, no, but Bronwyn thought that was like a really like a story to push out there. And I thought that was so bizarre. But it's also what I love about pop culture is that, it's like Andy Warhol said, we'll all get our 15 minutes of fame. I so wish he was alive to watch the Housewives because he would be in heaven. Like, I know he would be hosting a panel at BravoCon or something like that. But this just, good. I hope they were both happy. I'm glad they filed for divorce. And I hope most of all that their kids are okay. Truly. Okay, you guys, let's get into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, if you don't mind, because we got a long show ahead of us. Okay, folks, here we go. Let's do Salt Lake. Let's see how fast we can get through episode 3 and then episode 4. We'll slow it down a little bit, but I'm going to try to get through episode 3 or the highlights of episode 3 because truly, I think both amazing episodes. Did you guys feel the same way? I think we all feel the same way. This is just really good TV. And if you don't think so, I'm gonna make you think so. Damn it! I just lost my place again. Yes. One sec. Okay, I found it. We're good. Okay, and just a reminder, these notes were taken by Laura Beth Harp. You can find her on Instagram at Laura Beth Harp, LauraBetharpe. She didn't really have anything to promote, but I want to promote her Instagram because she takes amazing notes. This is season 3, episode 3, Courtside Conundrum. And Courtside Conundrum, it makes me think about Jen Shaw going to court, but it's not that, right? So what we find out later, it's because, there's rumors going around that Lisa Barlow does things with people's private parts for courtside seats. Allegedly. I truly don't believe that. That's crazy. Episode description: Whitney shares information about her childhood with the group, shocking the other women. Meredith and Lisa have a short-lived clemency. Great judicial word there, you guys. But Heather calls out Meredith on her superiority complex. After an afternoon of activities around Arizona, Jen hosts a party in honor of Meredith, but chaos ensues. Why every episode description should just say chaos ensues. That's all you have to do. We obviously do previously on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but we're going to skip past that. And we're just going to say Whitney was revealing that she was starting to recover memories of abuse. And it's actually really sad. Also, they went to Scottsdale, Arizona because Jen can't go out of the country and they want to celebrate Jen for some reason before she goes to court. So we open up on an exterior shot of a house in Scottsdale. We go back to the outdoor dining area. Remember, they're in this kind of like mansion, but it's like a mansion that looks like it's not been updated since like 1992. I'd still dig it, but it's like it's different. It's not. Jeff Lewis wouldn't like it. The women are eating dinner, and that's where we left off at the end of episode 2. And Lisa's like, "Are you okay, Whitney?" And when he's like, "I've been on this healing journey for honestly probably a year now." A lot. This is not funny. I can't do the voice. Basically, her child is blocked out from 9 to 17. She's getting a lot of memories, that abuse in her family, stuff she blocked out, and all the women are like stunned. And Heather's like, "You?" And Whitney's like, "Yeah." And Meredith's like, "I'm so sorry." And Whitney's like, "Yeah, thank you." And Meredith leans over and gives Whitney a hug. And Heather's like, "How do you deal with something like that? It's just a recovered memory? Or like, how did you figure this out?" And Whitney's like, "It was like, it's hard to explain. I don't know. Like, do we really want to go back there?" And Heather's like, no, we don't have to. And Whitney's like, like you have feelings, like you don't know where it comes from. It's like she's trying to explain how she is starting to remember certain things. And Meredith goes, "You're brave, Whitney." Whitney in a confessional goes, "There's no easy or right time to share this information with people, but I need my friends. And it actually feels good to get it out and do feel that love and their support of me." And she talks about her siblings, Curtis and Kelly. They're on a similar journey and they're all coming together. They live there in Arizona, and she gets to see her brother Curtis that she hasn't seen in years, which we get to meet them, I believe, in the next episode. And Heather's like, "I feel betrayed for you. To be honest, I'm freaking out." Heather in a confessional says, "I feel like all the wind has left my lungs." That could just be because you're talking a lot. To absolutely block something out of your memory because it's so traumatic, it has to have been horrific. And my heart is breaking. And when he's like, "We have to put everything on the table. We have to work through our shit, literally, because it's not worth to hold it in. But it's easy for me to be vulnerable. It is. And I know it's not easy for like others." And she's like pointing at the group. And here's the deal. I got to say, I love Whitney, man. Whitney truly is on a journey. And she's one of those people that you can tell she truly wants to work on herself. She truly like, you can tell this has been issues in her life. I always applaud people that, like, she's trying to do the work. She's trying to do the right things. She's trying to say my past was messed up, but I'm not going to let it define me. Sometimes we, and even I will like tease Whitney because of her light voice, but she's got a huge heart. She might not always be able to say things in the correct manner, like Heather does. Heather is much more loud and she can put sentences together and she's makes sometimes a little more sense. But I really do got to say, I admire Whitney a lot, because this shit, that's intense, man. That is intense. This stuff happening to you, and to uncover it and then to share it on a reality show. Like I said, that scene with her and her husband, Justin, 2 weeks ago was so uncomfortable that I was like, are you sure you want to share this? Like, this is, but we sometimes want real in our reality, right? So when he's like, Heather's like, yeah, it's not easy. And she's pointing at Lisa, or this one over here, Meredith. These kooky kids can't get it together. When he's like, yeah, both of them. So no pressure, Meredith. And Lisa, I know you need time. And Lisa's like, Whitney's like, pass the conch, which is so great, because that is a Lord of the Flies reference. If you don't know Lord of the Flies, I believe it's a book written by William Golding, and you had to read it in high school. And it's about all these kids that it's like Yellow Jackets, but with males. And it's like, Ralphie's got the conch. Was that his name? Or Pudgy or Piggy? Anyways, the conch was the thing that you got to like hold on to, and that means you got to talk. I believe that's the reference. If not, I'm insane. Meredith goes, you want to know the truth? I think all of my problems last year stemmed because I did make myself vulnerable. You feel like you open up and you get slapped in the face for it. Remember, Meredith sounds like a little bit like my Lisa Rinna, but it's a little lighter. But there is a little bit of it's just relaxed. She's always very relaxed. And she relaxed. It's just a very relaxed way of talking, but she knows what she's saying, but it's relaxed. Lisa's like, Meredith, again, I owe you an apology. I apologize in LA. I want to say it again. What I said was hyperbolic. I did not mean that. I apologize for them. I don't think those things. I was very hurt and said things that I regret. And I regret my poor choice of words. I regret them. So you don't regret the vitriol, the venom, and the hatred that you spewed? You don't regret what you said, but only your choice of words? There's a shot of Heather rolling her eyes, because it's like, dude, she's doing her best, Lisa Barlow, to apologize. I'm sorry, it's not up to Meredith Marks standards. And Lisa's like, Meredith, all I can say is I'm deeply sorry. And I'm extremely sorry. No. We need to back up, because the things you said, I've never confided in you, Lisa. You haven't? Because I've never fully trusted you. Okay, well, thank you for telling me that. And now I know why. Well, thank you for telling me that. I'm glad to know. So the things you said, you made them up. In a confessional, the producer says, so did you make up what you said in the rant? And Lisa's like, no, that's the truth. You gotta love Lisa Barlow, because Lisa Barlow is like, she slept with half of New York and her family fucking poses. Like, it's like, boom, boom. And the reason why this is still coming up and it hurts is because some of this shit is fucking true. And when you hear true shit, it hurts. I've heard it myself about myself, and it fucking hurts. Lisa, back in the scene, goes, I'm human and I was hurt. That was very hard. Jen leans over and tells Lisa, and you probably should have explained what was going on. And Meredith goes, someone told you I said your house was ugly? And Lisa's like, no, it was not because of that. And Meredith goes, that's what you told me in LA. Flashback to the reunion 6 weeks earlier. And, Lisa's like, well, somebody just told me you were making fun of my renovation and stuff. And I was like upset, which, by the way, in Lisa Barlow's world, remember, that would be something that would completely upset Lisa Barlow. It might not upset you or me, or we might not make sense of it because I actually don't own property to renovate. But, for Lisa Barlow, that's like saying something about a family member. That's like saying something about Brooks Marks Designs. You know what I'm saying? Heather, back in this scene, goes, I think she deeply, deeply regrets saying it. Meredith goes, I don't. And Heather goes, am I wrong? And Lisa goes, you're not wrong at all. And Meredith goes, if you're able to be accountable and you want to move forward, your behavior is not acceptable. That one day was not an aberration. There have been other instances of you speaking very poorly about me other than that. I'm well aware of that. And Lisa goes, there are not. And Meredith goes, can I finish speaking, Lisa? You're an interrupter. Okay, please stop interrupting me. It is very impolite. I don't know if there's something more significant going on. There's not. Can you stop interrupting me, please? Okay, but you're making statements that are not true. I'm almost finished. I'm not okay with that. I'm almost finished. And then you can say whatever you want, Lisa. If you think this is normal behavior and you don't want to get help and to make changes, then there's no more I can do for you. But if you think that you should be getting some help, I'm happy to help you. What kind of help do I need, Meredith? But that's it. I don't know. I want to know, what kind of help do I need? I don't profess to be a doctor, Lisa. Heather says, you saying that is absolutely going to trigger Lisa. Lisa goes, I don't like you commenting on my mental stability and health. And Meredith goes, I didn't stay your mental stability. Meredith is playing this game all season of like, I didn't necessarily say that. I just hinted around it. Heather in a confessional goes, the words are coming from Meredith's mouth are not dirty or mean, but they cut a bitch. And then she mocks Meredith. Once I met with your therapist and she deems you worthy, then I shall perhaps consider a path to resolution. But until then, I can't help you. I can't help you until you help yourself. Jen Shaw goes, you're fucking strong, Lisa. And Whitney goes, no, Lisa, look at me. Explain where the pain comes from, Lisa. Explain it. That's real and that's vulnerable and that's how it's going to change and then just be done. For the last year and a half, it was extremely hurtful to me that I could tell your feelings. Your feelings were hurt and my feelings were hurt and it was disregarded. Everybody talks shit about everybody and it's about how we're going to move forward. I'm not going to slit my wrist for anybody. I'll speak for myself. Now, poor choice of words here, guys, because Meredith goes, that's a horrible thing to say. And Lisa goes, no, it's not. It's not. And Meredith goes, you know what? Stop. And Jen's like, she had a family member. No, what? And Jen's like, that tried to commit suicide. And Lisa goes, oh, I did not know that. I did not. Meredith's like, oh, she fucking didn't know it. That's what she's going to tell me. Oh my God. And Jen goes, I am so sorry, Meredith, Lisa says, I am so sorry, Meredith, to use that analogy. I didn't realize. And Meredith goes, I think we need to stop this for a minute now. It's enough. And Heather goes, you're okay? To Meredith. And Meredith goes, I've had enough. And Heather goes, okay, have a sip of wine, have a bite of fish. This is almost like the Last Supper. And Lisa goes, oh my gosh. And Whitney in a confessional goes, I do not think that Lisa means this as a dig. This is just the way Lisa talks, whether it's acceptable or not. We flash back to 2 weeks ago, that episode, when she's at the pool with Whitney. She's like, I'm not going to slit my wrist for anybody at this stage of my life. I'm not doing it. So Lisa's just one of those people that likes to say slitting their wrists a lot. Like that's part of her vernacular. Jen says, hey, I want to say, hey, I haven't gotten attention in a second. I'd like to say something. I wouldn't be here without my husband and my kids and my faith. You just don't know till you go through a situation. And I hope nobody here ever goes through a situation like this. I would never wish it upon anyone, but petty things like, that you fight over this whole thing, put it into perspective where I'm just like the people that are important to me in my life. It's just important for me to show them how much I love, care, and appreciate them. Jen, amazing monologue. This is not your time though. We go from Whitney, going, I think that when I was abused when I was younger, to Meredith and Lisa, to Jen going, don't you forget about me. Let me tell you what I feel about this situation. I love my family. She just felt like she wanted some camera time. And Lisa goes, amen, Jen Shaw. Heather goes, a fucking men to Jen Shaw. Heather, what the fuck does Jen Shaw have on you? Honestly, like it is getting eerie and weird at a time, especially in the next episode after this. Like, I don't understand it. I appreciate a good friend. Like I really do. And you're kicking it. You're knocking it out of the park, but sometimes it just doesn't add up. Maybe that's just a me thing, not a you thing. You guys have your own opinion. Meredith goes, Lisa, I appreciate your apology. And I hear you. We're not at a point of resolution yet, if that's what you want. We will have to have much more discussion, but I do appreciate your apology. Thank you. Thanks for hearing me. I appreciate that. Should we burn something? Like, should we set something on fire? Heather goes, let's set Lisa on fire. I feel like she's ready for that. Yes, yeah. I have hair extensions. It'll singe. And then they light Lisa Barlow on fire. And it's just horrific. She's screaming. She's like, where's the pool? It's so great. No, they didn't light her on fire. Commercial break. We come back and we're in Scottsdale again. Scottsdale, Arizona, day 2. Jen, she doesn't have a mic anymore, but she has an annoying white bullhorn, which I don't know if you'll be able to. Do they have bullhorns in prison? I will say this about that is that I've seen now a couple shows on Netflix where they do like jailbirds, where it's like prison life. And would you not, like, if we could assure that the money would go to Jen Shah's victims, I would be willing to, like, let Jen do a reality show in prison. Like, she can't make money off it, but the victims can. But wouldn't you love to see Jen Shah? Like, what's gonna, like, is she gonna have like a paper made bullhorn? Like, is she gonna be, yeah, like, because Jen Shah is probably fun as hell to hang out with. I watched her dance at BravoCon, like, and she was like having the time of her life. But like, I wonder if she's gonna keep that same spirit in prison. Remember Teresa Giudice when she was in prison? She had that whole cell block like behind. She was the leader, and they were all like standing behind her. It was just, it was amazing. So Jen's like, good morning, and she's like going around. I hate when people are like peppy in the morning. I just don't like that. And Jen's like, I'm here to wake the hose up. Where the hose in this house? Can you imagine her doing that in prison? Where the hose in this prison? It was like, here, we're over here. Lisa goes, oh my God, crazy. Jen says, I'm just here to get you ready. We're going on a bike trolley drinking trip. So last night was really heavy, you guys. So now they're going to go on this like drinking trip where it's like they're all riding this bicycle thing. And this guy, John, I think, is like the host of this. Oh, sorry. No, not that's John. That's Lisa's husband is John. Anyways, Lisa calls John her husband to see how everything's going. She's telling him about the night before. Is he keeping the boys on schedule? He's not doing great at that. And she's like, we're doing a bike trolley thing, and then we're going to go do a rodeo experience with the girls because I love horses so much. So we're going to do that. And John's like, keep me posted on everything that goes. And Lisa goes, I love you. And John goes, don't give any blowjobs for Utah Jazz tickets. No. And Jen goes, my booty squad. She's still screaming over this loudspeaker. Heather is knocking on Meredith's door, and Meredith's like, who is it? It's Heather. Come on in. What are you doing? A little makeup. And Heather's like, a glam team in the middle of Arizona? Isn't that an oxymoron? Like, who are you going to impress? The cacti, the tumbleweeds? It is, Heather is right a lot. I, hate to admit that because she unfollowed me on Instagram, but she is right a lot. And, it's so funny because Scottsdale is such a ritzy, fancy area. And it's also hot as balls most of the time in Arizona, like disgustingly hot. Like, it's like they always like, it's a dry heat, but it's also just a miserable heat. And that's why it's so funny. There's so many rich D-bags in Scottsdale. I'm so sorry if you're from Scottsdale. Like, all the women are beautiful in Scottsdale. All the guys like shop at like Express for Men, but better. Like, they're always like it's like, I grew up in that environment, like high school and college and all that stuff. And I don't know how I did it because with my sweating problem, I'm just not made for Arizona weather. It's like right around this time in November is when it gets actually good. And then you have like a 4-month period in Arizona where it's like top notch. So Heather's coming in to do a little talk. And Heather's like, okay, I was coming to talk to you. Like, right now, are you just going to move on with Lisa? And Mary's like, here's your problems that I have. I'm very honest in what I need to be able to move forward as a real friend. And you can say, I'm sorry till you're blue in the face. But unless you're willing to change the behavior, the apology becomes irrelevant. And Heather's like, I still don't understand how Lisa's going to show you that she wants to be your friend. And I feel like you're coming off as condescending and superior. I'm not superior. I'm telling you, I don't find it acceptable to treat me that way. Heather, I'm not willing to open myself up to somebody who's just going to stab me in the heart. Wait, Lisa Barlow's allowed to say slit your wrist, but Meredith can't say stab you in the heart? This feels like the CUNT evil conversation from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Heather's like, well, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to look at your life and look at situations where you've taken that risk with other people who have hurt you and stabbed you in the back. We get a flash to a shot of Jen Shah and give them more grace than you're giving Lisa. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I got to tell you, Heather does, I like Heather. I don't like the stuff going on with her and Whitney, though. That I don't like. Meredith goes, but that's really not true. And Heather goes, stop being a condescending, superior bitch. Now, Heather went out. This is like dipping your toe in the deep end right now, because Heather, remember, if you think about dynamics, she was on the lowest of the totem pole on the first season. So Meredith and Lisa were always at the higher end. So this is Heather asserting power. Meredith at this point knows in the third season that Heather's a very popular character. So Heather can get away with saying something like this to Meredith. And Meredith says, I'm saying that I'm fine with her at surface level, that I don't trust her, and that makes me a condescending person. Heather goes, no, I don't trust her. Saying that I will help you learn how to be my friend sounds condescending. That's not what I said, Heather. What I said was, I can't be treated that way. And if you want to work on yourself so we can figure out how we got there, then I'm happy to work with you. That's all I said. Well, I don't think you should be treated that way either. Okay. The most important thing you just said is how we got there because you got there with her. Correct. And I think you need to be more open to that and open to what she has to say. I'm saying I don't tolerate the way she treated me. And I think that is crystal clear. Okay, so that's it. There's nothing else to talk about at this moment. Okay. They've done. It's done. Like, and so Heather in a confessional goes, I feel frustrated because I know Meredith is forgiving Lisa, but she doesn't want to. And while there's a part of me that understands that deeply, I'm kind of over it. Like, I want you to forgive Whitney. I'm doing breakdancing. You can only see it if you go to YouTube. We see Heather getting ready in the bathroom. We see all the ladies. Jen walks into the bathroom with her bullhorn. Where are my hose at? Jen Shaw is obsessed with where her hose are at. Jen Shaw needs to put an air tag on all the hose because she is obsessed. We've got to get a geotag on these hose. And Jen's like, oh, they're not in the bathroom. She moves on to Whitney's room and goes, woo. Jen's like, you look like a rock star. And Whitney's wearing a blue jean mini skirt, white crop top, bedazzled black leather jacket with cowboy boots. Jen has on this black romper with gladiator stilettos. Heather's walking out in a burqa. No, she shows Heather's walking out in a floral dress with wedges. By the way, this is what you got to love Laura Beth Harp. She puts all of the details. And this is what I also love about Juliana Carzo. They put these details in because I don't really notice the clothes. I'm always like, oh, that person looks busty right there. Or, oh, that's like silk PJs. But like, I always forget that women really do know. And I completely fail at that. Jen goes, oh, now here we have the belle of the ball. All the ladies are lining up and they meet Zach, the Sprinter driver, and the trolley drives up. And this is called Arizona Party Bike. You guys, it's $499 to rent the trolley for 2 hours in Scottsdale. And we meet Kevin. He's like, how's it going, ladies? Who's ready to party? And others like, we're ready to party. And Kevin's like, all aboard the Jen Shaw Express. And I'm like, oh shit, they're going to jail together. Like, and then Kevin's like, I got some red wine. I got some rosé. And Lisa's like, rosé all day. And Jen's like, you guys, this is about to be the funnest bike ride we've ever done. I haven't heard that since Lance Armstrong, right? High five. Kevin says, that's all right. Everybody pedal, pedal, pedal. And Heather's like, yeah, put your back into it. Lisa in a confessional goes, I think booze and a bike ride is what this group needs right now. And I don't want all these little squats. Can you ever imagine just getting into a deeply intense fight with your family and then going, I think booze and a bike ride is what this group needs right now. Next, guys, if you're in any kind of awkward situation this weekend, go, I think booze and a bike ride is what we really need right now. Whitney is, it's like the pole on the trolley. It's like actually a pole that holds the roof of the trolley up. She's like, I got a stripper pole. And I'm like, no, that actually just holds the trolley up. Don't do that. Jen, they're all pouring the booze on Whitney. Like Whitney's upside down and Jen Shaw's pouring it in her, like up her skirt where the area where the babies come out of is, where also where you pee and stuff. And Jen goes, we all know Whitney likes her coochie wet. Okay. Drown that bitch. This girl can't go to jail fast enough, man. Like that's a wild sentence. Jen's like, wait, is this a wet t-shirt contest? And she pours a drink over Lisa. And Lisa, she's trying to play ball, but she says like, oh my God, stop, please. Okay, Jen Shaw. And then Lisa then pours her drink on Jen. And Meredith goes, oh my God, this one's exploding. And she pours her drink in Lisa's direction. Whitney goes, watching Lisa and Meredith passively aggressively throw cheap wine at each other. I'm living for it, which is actually a really cute moment. They get off the little tour with Zach, and now we are at the Escaramuza Riders come on the screen. They were in Vogue. They were featured in Vogue. And Lisa's like, so we're just going to go this way. It's like a private show. Lisa in a confession goes, when you think Arizona, you definitely think rodeo. Well, at least I do. And these women are amazing. Lisa, once again, you have baffled me and befuddled me. When I think of Arizona, I think of high school and all the theater plays and musicals I did that led me to believe that I was talented enough to come to Los Angeles and become an actor, where I have not done that well and I had to turn to podcasting. That's what Arizona makes me think of. But for you, it's rodeo. So I'm happy that we all think different things. Lisa goes, so there's 8 riders and they're going to perform a series of drills for us that are like synchronized to perfection. And these ladies are beautiful. It is like a really cool thing. They sit side saddle. There's some side saddle jokes being made, but like these women are like the real deal. Like you can't make fun of talent. So it's just weird that they go like, why not start with the riders and then go to the trolley and drinker? You know, like literally, like Whitney's sitting there with like a wet, like rosé coochie watching these side saddle riders. And I just felt so, I was just like, this is like just a UTI waiting to happen. Also, in this scene, you'll notice that Heather, Jen, and Meredith are standing with the arms linked during this scene. It's like, are they scared of the horseback riders? Also notice that America is wearing an Apple Watch. So this is honestly not very authentic. That was just one of the riders. So it's authentic to a degree. Listen, this is a TV show. When he's like, explain how you're sitting. I've never seen that before. And America, though, the lady who runs this thing's like, our dresses are inspired by the Adelitas who fought the revolution in Mexico, but it was not proper to ride like a man. So we ride side saddle. And Heather's like, it's called keeping your knees together, Whit. And Whitney flips Heather off. And I'm like, oh, what a beautiful thing to show these ladies with their horses, just this kind of beautiful sign language. Lisa goes, beautiful. And then they make the girl, they put out dresses to wear and all the ladies have to get into the outfits. And Lisa goes, these outfits are right over there. Do you guys want to follow me? These are from the Gaucho collection of Dior in 2007. John got these for me. So if you guys want to pick a fit, I'm going to wear this one. Why does my Lisa Barlow sound like the movie phone voice? Heather is saying, hey, I wanted to tell you, I talked to Meredith this morning, to Lisa. I basically said, you sound like a superior condescending friend that's putting terms on why you'll be friends with Lisa. Like she must get help. She must show me how she cares. But the truth is, when I got on the trolley, it was fun. And Lisa goes, from my perspective, when is enough with Meredith? Because like we went through this for the last 2 years with Jen. I'm not doing this. And Heather's exactly. And is she any happier for holding Jen's feet to the fire? No, she's not. No, we get a flash over to Jen, Whitney, and Meredith. So this is like the summer loving, had me a blast. So like 3 girls or a couple girls are talking here, a couple girls are talking here. And Jen's like, how's everything going after last night with you and Lisa? And Meredith's like, it's you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she genuinely believes she did anything wrong. I think she believes she was heard. We get another flashback to the last season hot mic moment from last season when he goes, I really don't think it's fair to Lisa that like we're all holding her like to the cross, but yet we've all heard things about her and we all have this information. We get a flashback to the last episode where Meredith and Whitney were discussing the rumors about Lisa potentially sleeping around. Whitney goes, it feels a bit hypocritical. And Meredith goes, and I would entirely agree with you, except let's make one big differentiation. I didn't spread rumors. I said very loose and vague. There are rumors out there pertaining to her marriage, pertaining to her finances, pertaining to whatever. Whitney in a confessional goes, it doesn't matter how Meredith wants to spin this narrative. You're talking shit. Are you really going to argue semantics? I didn't go out there and spread to the world. I did a one-on-one quiet conversation. This is kind of ridiculous because it's like I talk shit. I did a one-on-one private conversation with a camera crew that it's like watched by millions of people. When he goes, but are you planning on having a one-on-one with her or no? Well, it's kind of not my problem, but it is your problem because you came to me with it. No, well, you came to me too. And Whitney goes, I feel like it's not fair to move forward without telling Lisa. Just put it all out on the table. Meredith in a confessional goes, Whitney, are you kidding me? You yourself have says, let's make this fun and light for Jen. You think that's going to make it fun and light for Jen? And America's like, who wants to ride? And others like, I'll ride. And they ride. Okay. So great riding. Fun. Whitney, now we're back at the house and Whitney's like, Heather, I need you to paint my tatas because they're all now in a lingerie party for Jen. And this is kind of hysterical because it's like the most intense scenes of the show, and they're just walking around in lingerie. It's like backstage at the like strip club and Showgirls, but it's just like no music and it's just intense. It's all black lacy lingerie, and Heather's like, my goodness, well, I'm glad to see we're both on theme. Jen has a makeup artist because, of course, let's just spend. I mean, come on, let's spend it while you got it. So tonight Jen's hosting a garbage whore lingerie party, and the makeup's like, oh my God. And Jen's like, I can't take all the credit for that because I'm not the one that came up with that. Actually, Lisa Barlow did. We get flashback to Lisa's hot mic moment again when she called Meredith a piece of shit garbage whore. Heather goes, I felt like today that Meredith and Lisa were good. And Whitney goes, this is what bugs me about it is Meredith came to me and told me the rumors about Lisa. At some point, like, I have to tell Lisa, we talked about this. And Heather goes, if you don't have the firsthand knowledge, I know, but babe, think about it. I'm trying to help Lisa. Do what? I'm trying to help Meredith mend a bridge with Lisa. Okay, but let me tell you right now, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't? So stop. But I just had this moment at the horse thing where I was just like, what are you going to do about this? Because that's not fair. Whitney in a confessional goes, right now I'm processing. There's a lot of secrets in my family. Those secrets fester and build, and they implode. So that is something that I don't want to do anymore. I want to break that cycle. We move to the kitchen where Heather and Whitney are getting ready to cook dinner. This is also a weird thing and potentially a health violation of some sort because it just felt like everybody's in lingerie, loose hairs could just be flying all around the pubis region. You know, they're dealing with shellfish, I think. There's salmon involved. It just steaks. I don't know. I just would have maybe put a mitt on or something. Heather goes, they're cooking and joking about bending their knees to get to the oven. I don't know. Meredith walks in wearing shiny leather leggings and a corset top with an I love New York baseball cap, which is just, that's good fun. She has a laugh about it. She's carrying gift bags from her Meredith Mark store. Meredith goes, wow. Heather and Whitney cheer as she walks in. Whitney says she loves her hat. Once again, we flash back to the hot mic moment. She fucked half of New York. And Lisa walks in a set of silk PJs, not lingeries or lingerie. And Lisa goes, hey. And Heather goes, Meredith goes, I don't think that's lingerie. That's about on par with the onesie. That she said that in a confessional. And Whitney in a confessional goes, clearly, John doesn't see much skin. I think they're secret freaks, though. Heather goes, for a Mormon 2.0, she is representing nary a nip or a cleavage in sight. And Lisa goes, I feel sexy. Lisa in a confessional goes, I think we're all dressed to our personality, and clearly, like, I dress to mine. So Lisa's like, you know, it's hard to imagine her giving blowies for tickets at a jazz game if this is how she dressed. Whitney says, does anyone want to steak, or does everyone just want salmon? And Heather goes, I want steak. And Whitney goes, all right, I'm going to fire up the grill. And Jen goes, is this the drive-through? Can I get an order? And Jen walks in a black full lace bodysuit with a black corset and her bullhorn. This fucking bullhorn, man. Jen is like, welcome to the garbage whore lingerie party. Woo! And then she goes, Lisa. And Lisa goes, I feel sexy. Don't talk. Whitney goes, I need you to come help me with the meat because you're the only one that I can trust with the meat. And Jen goes, to beat the meat? And Whitney goes, come on. And Whitney goes, have you ever grilled like this before? And Jen goes, I haven't. Back in the kitchen, Lisa's like, so we're going to do an open plate salad. Make it look super chic. And we're back out with Jen and Whitney. And when he's like, I have a question for you. Like, do you ever have a conversation with Meredith talking about the alleged affairs? And Jen's like, I'm not the one who brought that up. Okay. Meredith brought it up. And I said, yeah, I've heard it. I have heard it. Meredith walks outside and joins this conversation. And Whitney goes, I'm asking Jen if she actually brought up to you that Lisa had alleged affairs. And Meredith goes, when we were in the hot tub, we talked about it. Yeah. I said, I heard rumors. I didn't bring it up, Jen Shaw says. And Meredith goes, I didn't say specific to what. Jen said that she had heard rumors of affairs. I confirmed that it was the same thing I heard. And Whitney goes, I just kind of feel like I've been put in the middle now. Of what? What do you mean? I feel like you put me in the middle. The reality is, Whitney, you had a lot more to say than I did. We get a flashback to Meredith and Whitney talking, and Whitney's like, I heard that Lisa sleeps with wealthy and well-known guys to sway to invest in her businesses. And we get the name like, you know, Angie Harrington, who we met last season. And Meredith nods. We were at a jazz game the other night and John and Jack were sitting in his seats, the man seats. Wow. And Meredith goes, do you remember that? When he goes, that doesn't matter. Okay. But here's the thing. I don't feel like I can authentically move forward if we don't put it all on the table because now I feel bad. No one's arguing with you about that, Whitney. That's fine. Let's do it. Jen agrees. Whitney goes, but I need you to say it. I'm not saying it. We go back to the kitchen with Lisa and Heather like, tonight, let's just keep quiet. Let's just go to bed. And Lisa's like, yeah. Heather's like, let's eat, go to bed. I don't know where they are. Are they cooking the meat? Where are they? Back to the grill. Whitney's like, everyone knows if they tell me, I'll be the one to say it. Jen says, well, I see where you're coming from. I'm coming from a place of strength. Jen goes, when you're like, I want to stop being Nancy Drew because your intention is not what ends up. I feel like the perception is what happens. And Whitney goes, exactly. Everyone is used to me being Nancy Drew with huge boobs. I cannot and will not know more. Meredith's like, but no one's asking you to, Whitney. No one's asking, but everyone's expecting and dropping information and expecting it all. Whitney, that what are you even talking about? Whitney storms in the house with Meredith following her. Heather's like, what's going on? What's wrong? What's wrong? Lisa says, I'm done with this bullshit. What's going on? Just shut up, please. Please, everyone shut up. Just let me get it out in my own way. Come back from commercial break. Heather's like, what's going on? And she's like, I'm having a very hard time, Lisa, because for the first time in the entire time I've known you, I feel like we have a real friendship. I'm confused. What is happening right now is I feel so conflicted because I have talked with Meredith about your marriage, about rumors about you. Meredith brought it up. She came to me with alleged rumors about you. Meredith goes, I sat there with Whitney. Let me clarify what I said. And now I feel like I am in the middle and I'm removing myself out of it because this is not my fight. Retaliation is a fucking bitch, Lisa says. In a confessional, Lisa goes, I'm in shock. Like, wow. I thought marriages were off limits. Wow. Meredith, I thought everything with families off limits. Wow. It's like a power play for her. Whitney, thank you so much for telling me that and being a good friend. Heather goes, I'm going to go get the salmon. Lisa goes, there's nothing wrong with my marriage. There's no infidelity. Heather goes, hold on a second. Lisa goes, I'm happy and I love my family. John and I are totally fine. Hey, everybody, let's eat. We'll talk about it at dinner like adults. Lisa goes, what was said about me? It's rumored that one of your, and then something's beeped out here, has jazz tickets and that you have been involved with. I don't want to say the name. Are you crazy? And you hear Jen yelling in the background saying, who is that? And Whitney goes, I'm not crazy. And Lisa goes, oh my God, that's disgusting. That is disgusting. And Whitney goes, I am the one that started it. I'm telling you, I am not the one who started it. I'm telling you what I heard. Disgusting. Jen goes, it is disgusting, isn't it? Lisa goes, disgusting. And Whitney goes, I heard it and I'm bringing it to you and I'm asking you. And you said, no, it's done. Heather goes, this is what Meredith told Whitney. Meredith goes, I didn't tell her that. She told me that. Heather goes, Whitney told you that? Meredith goes, correct. Lisa goes, this is someone that has like mentioned me and we work together. Disgusting. Meredith in the confessional goes, I don't know why I'm even involved in this right now. In fact, I've never heard these rumors other than from Whitney. I've heard other rumors, but not the ones that Whitney told me. So she's like, I've heard other rumors like, she wears white after Labor Day, but I've never heard these sexy rumors. And when he's like, you told me she performed sexual favors. Heather in a confessional goes, Blowy for jazz tickets? I mean, that's a stretch. It's not like you're courtside for the Lakers. I mean, Blowy's is sitting next to Jack Nicholson, maybe a little more plausible, but courtside to the Jazz, you don't have to get on your knees for that. And Meredith goes, I didn't say that. When he goes, yes, you absolutely did. I did not say that. I heard it. And you said, is that absurd? Flashback to Whitney and Meredith saying, what do you know? And she's like, I just heard that she was doing favors to help places to pick up Vita tequila. It sounds absurd to me. And Lisa goes, do you feel good? Do you guys feel good? Does this feel fucking good? Like fucking hurt me more. And then Jen in a confession goes, Jen Shaw, who? Like, I'm fighting for my life and my freedom because I totally committed a crime against the elderly. But y'all are fighting for courtside jazz ticket seats and who said what and what rumors and who's a garbage trash whore and who's not? When he goes, the point is that the pain is between you two. I don't want you guys involved. I can handle things with Meredith alone. She looks at Meredith and I said I would talk to you directly. I didn't want to talk to you to anybody else because I never have and I didn't want to. Don't say you never have, Lisa, because you have. Other than that one fucking rant. No, I've heard about it for years. Or whatever. That's a lie. That's a lie. So please stop lying, Lisa. Call the people. No. I'm not lying and I'm not going to be accused of fucking lying. You cannot be perfect and you can still forgive her. Jen goes, we just need to breathe. Everybody breathe. Remember, I'm Jen Shaw. I would like some attention. And Heather goes, everybody, let's do the inhale, exhale. Whitney goes, this is retaliation. We are not involved. And you two need to work this out. Heather goes, I don't know what's going on with Whitney. She's like a runaway train. I know she's got a lot on her heart and mind, but if Whitney's seeking peace and truth and healing, stirring up trouble is the opposite of that. Lisa goes, I have said sorry, and I'm not going to beg you for your friendship. And Meredith to Whitney goes, make it clear because there's confusion here. You said that to me. I did not say that to you. It was the first time I heard it. Lisa goes, I fucked up one time in our friendship. And Meredith goes, no, Lisa, it wasn't one time. One time. It was one time, Meredith. Stop yelling at me, Lisa. Lisa goes, I'm not going to calm down. Don't patronize me. I'm going to fucking scream. I want to. I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at this. Okay, scream then, Lisa. Then I'm not communicating with you. I'm yelling because I can't take it. Throwing things and having a fit. I am calm. I'm going to throw more shit. It doesn't make me psycho. It makes me human. Okay, Lisa, I'm done with this. You want to retaliate? Go ahead and retaliate. I don't need your friendship. If you don't want to be my fucking friend, you're done. Jen goes, wait, who's retaliating? And Lisa goes, I just really don't know how much more I can take. I have taken the brunt of so much. I need to call my husband. We come back from break. Lisa's like, I have taken the brunt. John, all I have is John, Jack, and Henry. That's all I have. It's all I have. And Lisa's like, John, Jack, and Henry are my everything. And for someone to try and hurt that is disgusting. She goes to the room and Jen goes, all you have is your family. Well, guess what? Literally all I have is fucking my husband and kids. Jen Shaw coming in to say, I'm here too. Everything's been taken away from me. This girl, the one you brought to Arizona. Everything. I don't have anything else, you guys. And she's trying to cry now. And Heather in a confessional goes, way to go. Really knocked it out of the park with this one. We're taking an already frantic, stressed out woman and up the ante. Whitney goes, Meredith, look at me. I own the things I said. And Meredith goes, well, not exactly, because you created a little confusion. There was with the thing, with what I said. And when he goes, I did not create confusion. Heather goes, you created a little confusion. Did I? You did. Meredith is right. Then go clear it up. And Heather goes, yeah, go clear it up. Meredith walks to Lisa's door and knocks. There's no reply, but she walks in and Lisa goes, you don't get to come in here. I want you to go. I want you to go. You're not my friend. Lisa, I listened to you. No, I want you to go. I have nothing to say to you. Okay. I just want to say something to you. And I want to clear something up. I did not say anything other than the fact that there are rumors out there, and I didn't know if they were true or false. You know that they're not. Let me finish. I did not say that whole thing that Whitney's talking about. She said, I knew nothing about that. Let's go. Let's go figure it out. I want to hear about it. Okay, she'll answer you right now. I knew nothing about it until she told me, so I couldn't have said it. Lisa and Meredith walk out of the room back to the dining room. Lisa goes, hey, Whitney, Meredith just came in my room and she said she heard rumors, but she said you brought up the rumors and name names. I did not. Okay. Whitney goes, Meredith came into my home. I invited her over. I made her a charcuterie board. And Heather goes, Whitney, go in there and talk to her about it then. Lisa in a confessional goes, Meredith, you can't trust me. I'm not the one going from house to house talking about you behind your back. Whitney goes, can we just pause, like mental health pause for a second? Lisa in a confessional goes, did you engage in the negative conversations about me and my family? If the answer is yes, you're at fault too. And you could be entitled to compensation. Please call 1-8. No, it doesn't matter who brought it up first. Did you shut it down or did you engage? Because that's your answer right there. Whitney, can I talk? Jen goes, Whitney, just sit down. Sit right down. Heather goes, Whitney, it's not about us right now. Whitney goes, I'm trying to help her. And Jen goes, I know. Heather goes, but you're not. Just breathe. I want to tell you, Lisa, what I said, which was that there are rumors that pertain to basically every area of your life that you spoke about mine. Okay. So I did not speak about any specific rumors. However, I should have just said not anything at all. Lisa goes, thank you. And I was just trying to understand what was going on. And I should have said nothing and apologized. Thank you. I accept your apology. But every single fucking time we get all together, it's a pile on and I take the brunt of everything. When you had talks with her, I got it all. Heather to Jen across the table goes, this trip was for you. It was to have fun and to celebrate you because you're going to prison. This is too much. And Lisa goes, it's not good for my kids. It's not good for my husband. I know, but like, when am I absorbing so much? I'm an empath. I absorb it all. Meredith goes, why don't you take a couple minutes, take a couple deep breaths, and I'm going to come check on you in a couple minutes, 4 minutes. I don't know why I just said 4. Why, not 3, not 5, but 4. And Whitney goes, I felt like you won't budge. And Meredith goes, I won't budge on what? Jen goes, I got to use the bathroom. Whitney goes, you are the one who said that you have heard that she is in fact a whore. Meredith goes, I said there are rumors out there that pertain to the exact word. That is correct. Heather goes, what if Lisa's a whore? Whitney goes, I don't fucking care. I'm wearing lingerie for a cowboy right now. And Heather goes, what if Lisa does blowjobs for Vita Tequila orders? And Meredith goes, Whitney, I don't understand what we're arguing about. Am I missing something? Heather says, do you still want to be friends with Lisa? Okay. And Heather goes, I'd give a blowjob for a burger. I mean, I don't know. My bar is pretty low. Lisa goes, I love you. I love myself too. I'm going to bed. I know it's good for me. Back to the dining room. Whitney goes, I am sick of it, like being thrown under the bus, because I'll say, but nobody threw you under the bus. You did. I didn't. All I did was clear up because Heather was saying that was something I said. Heather goes, I didn't know. Because you never told me. Meredith goes, you owned it. She misunderstood. Heather goes, I thought Meredith had told you. And Whitney goes, I have told you everything, Heather. We were at the jazz game with Angie. Heather goes, and you said, that's who Lisa's fucking, the guy in her seats? I didn't say that. You sat in the front two seats on New Year's Eve with Angie. A photo of Angie, Whitney, and Heather comes on the screen at a Utah Jazz game, New Year's Eve 2021. Whitney goes, Angie told us that John Barlow and Lisa have those tickets because Lisa sleeps with beep. That's how I heard it. And you were there. And Heather goes, I did not hear it. I would tell you it's a lie if I knew it. I would fucking say it. She gets really angry. She's like, if I never heard it, you don't think I would love that information on her? You're lying right now. Tell me how. Because I stood courtside at the Jazz game with Angie, and she told us that. I sat next to Angie and Chris, and you were 2 rows back on the other side. When did she say it? When we were walking off and taking a selfie, and she goes, that's who Lisa sleep with for the Jazz tickets. And then Jen's like, wait, what? And Heather's like, well, guess what? I didn't hear that fucking nugget, because if I had, I would have fucked you, because I love sitting courtside. Fuck you for calling me a fucking liar. You called me a liar. God damn you. Fuck you. Fuck me, please. I would love to be fucked. To be continued. Boom. YouTube, that is part 1 of this. Tune into part 2. I mean, not part 2, the episode 4. That'll be out later. So this is episode 3, then episode 4. And that'll be probably at some point tomorrow too. Okay. Bye, guys.